Dude, it's doing all kinds of weird stuff. Look at that. It's doing all kinds of weird stuff.
What does it look like zoomed in? I can't see.
Look, come see.
Here I come.
Look how it's doing all kinds of weird stuff.
What is
Watch.
that?
I don't know. Look.
Is that like a drone or something?
Watch. It like shifts into other things. Look at what
It
it's.
looks like a rocket ship.
Hold on, look.
That's like a rocket ship, Daddy.
It's not. It's barely moving.
Then what is that, a ferry?
Where did it go?
I still have the zoom on
I don't see it at all with my eyes. It's gone.
it. Look at that.
That's crazy.
I'm about to lose it because it's
For
going.
real, what is it? Where did it go?
I can't see it no more.
I don't see it with my eyes. Oh, straight up. Over there. In between.
Oh yeah.
What is it, Mike?
I don't know.
I've never seen things like this. It's just like going to the
I can't
right.
I can't find it no more. I can see it. I can see it with my eyes, but I can't find it with the lens anymore.
You can see it with your eye in between these trees. See how the sun's getting it right now?
No.
And it's shining?
I don't know why I can't.
It's really hard to see. You can only see it sometimes. Okay, it's in between these two trees. Up, more to the right.
Oh wait, I think I got it. again. Yeah, I got it again.
It's
Oh,
really
I see,
faint.
I see.
And then sometimes the sun will hit it. It'll like turn. See how it's turning? The sun's hitting it right now?
Is that like some
It's like
type
glowing.
of... Oh, yeah, I see it now. Is that like some type of astronaut thing?
No, but it is.
Hollywood has told us some amazing stories over the decades, and the UFO phenomena has certainly had its share of blockbuster movie roles. Here's an interview from 1977 with Steven Spielberg, talking about inspiration for Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Multiple witness individuals who have all seen these things all over the world, not just in this country, but all through Canada, all through France, all through Brazil, Australia, you name it. They're really, for every, in a way, for me, for every couple hundred square miles of land in this country, that there are UFO reports. Some of the people who have had UFO encounters do, tell me that it's very similar to the kinds of encounters that are in the film. But of course, the kinds of encounters that are in my film are based, in part, on the experiences of a kind of cross-section of people throughout the country who claim to have had second kind encounters, first kind encounters, and third kind encounters.
I wouldn't put it past this government that a cosmic Watergate has been underway for the last, 25 years. And at the same time, I don't think it's, I think as we're growing up, or from the government's point of view, I think we've been adults for hundreds of years, but from the government's point of view, we're still growing up, and eventually they might want to tell us something about what they've discovered over the decades. There is a rumor that was in U.S. News and World Report a number of months ago that Jimmy Carter might make some unsettling disclosures about the UFO phenomena sometime in December. It's perfect timing. I opened my movie in December, so it's perfect timing.
President Carter reported a UFO sighting twice.
Twice, yes.
Has he seen the picture?
Last Saturday.
What do you think of it?
We haven't heard the direct feedback. We hear he liked it quite a bit. We haven't really heard directly from the president.
In view of the fact that your own president has cited it, reported it, why is it that so many responsible people accuse the U.S. government of covering up UFO sightings? And why would the forces of the government try to do that?
Well, it's very popular today because of Watergate to blame the government for anything that we think we should know about that we don't know about. Dr. Hynek has referred to UFOs in America as a cosmic Watergate. There are several reasons why the government could be, withholding information beyond the Freedom of Information Act. The Robertson panel that convened in the early 50s decided that UFOs were not a threat to our national security, but could be a threat to our national security by clogging all the proper channels of communication and creating rumors. During the Cold War, when we were already frightened of the intercontinental ballistic missiles arriving in 18 and a half minutes, and the government was afraid that too many UFO reports could be misleading, could mislead our own facilities, our own NORAD facilities, into thinking that what looked like a non-specific, or looked like an uncorrelated target could be, in fact, an incoming missile. And they didn't want to confuse UFOs with a threat from communist Russia.
Dan Aykroyd, famously known for his role in movies like Ghostbusters, The Great Outdoors, and My Girl, has a very strong interest in the UFO phenomena and extraterrestrial life. He has claimed to have witnessed 4 UFO sightings throughout his life and has explored the topic extensively in his work. Here's a remarkable story told by him of having his UFO documentary canceled.
The Sci-Fi Channel, and it was called Out There, and I basically interviewed all of the people that I admired in various fields of study, like Colin Andrews from the Crop Circle movement, Linda Moulton Howe, the expert on cattle mutilations, John Mack. And let me just put a pin in things right there, because John Mack has taken the study of abductions, UFOs, right out through the other side, and he's going, yes, we know they're here. We know they're coming. We know people have been taken. We know there's experimentation going on. We know people have been told about agendas. What we now have to do is use that as a key and as a motivation to socially transform this planet to a more peaceful, more loving, more tolerant state. So his movement, the movement for social change, has just accepts as a fact abductions, UFOs, interplanetary intervention, and what he's doing is taking it out through the positive side of it and saying, now we must use it to socially transform. And I think his message is great. But I talked to him. I talked to the Allagash guys who were taken in the canoe on that trip in Pennsylvania. The last show we did, I had both Bassett, who has the UFO time clock, and then Greer. Both Bassett and Greer were there. They were my 2 guests for the day. Well, the show was canceled that afternoon. And I was outside before I knew it was canceled, in between the interviews. And I was outside, and Britney Spears called me because she wanted me to appear on Saturday Night Live with her. And so I was outside having a cigarette. The phone rang. Oh, Britney, how you doing? Oh, sure, of course I will. I turned away like this. I turned back, and there was a black Ford across the road, a black Ford sedan. And I was trying to look at the plate, and the plate seemed kind of like fuzzy. And I was, definitely a police car. And 2 guys were there, and a big, tall guy got out of the back seat. And he stood in the street on 42nd Street it was. We were at 42nd Street and 8th Avenue. And he looked right at me. And literally, I was on the phone. Hey, sure, of course I'd love for the show. Saw the Ford, went back like this, turned back like a half second later, and it was gone. And that car did not go past me. It did not make a U-turn, because I would have seen 42nd Street. I would have seen that thing take a U-turn and go away. That car vanished. That car was a cloaked vehicle of some type. And whether this was like a warning to me, because the guy got out of the back seat, gave me a real dirty look. That car vanished. I know what I saw. And, it was just this fast. It was, oh, hi, Brittany, sure. Oh, of course, I'd love to. Guy gives me a dirty look. Oh, well, sure. Car gone. That's what happened. And then 2 hours later, we were told we were not to continue taping, and the show was canceled, and none of them would air. I don't know. I don't know. Was that an MIB experience? Black helicopters, military abductions that happen. Sometimes people are taken and they talk about then being visited by, military personnel and debriefed about their abduction. Was it a technology associated with some of these beings that are visiting that wanted to warn me off, or that wanted to give me verification that I was on the right track? I don't know. But I do know I did turn back a second later, and it takes so long for an automobile accelerating from 0 to 40 miles an hour to reach the corner of 8th Avenue and 42nd Street going past me, and then pulling a U-turn and going out towards Times Square, I would have seen that car. And I looked around. I mean, I was looking for that then. It was gone. So, I don't know. The tapes exist. I have them. We're going to try to...
Our third celebrity of interest is Tom DeLonge. Mr. DeLonge has had an extensive fascination with the UFO phenomena, so much so he was willing to invest in a company called To the Stars Academy. This short video interview is with a younger Mr. DeLonge discussing a story he heard from, as he explained it, a guy he knew. He then discusses his library of books used to educate himself on everything from the JFK assassination to time travel.
Where you still at?
Dude, I'm fucking ready, dude. So, oh shit, you want to get me started on UFOs?
But just that one story.
All right. Well, I have a friend that's been working to out like the secrecy of UFOs for like 10 years. And I met up with him on the East Coast, and I asked him what he was doing, wondering if there's anything I could do to help or whatever. And he spent 10 years filming like over 500 top secret witnesses that work for the government. And they all work for like, everywhere from CIA to Lockheed Martin to Boeing Corporation to the Defense Intelligence Agency, the NSA, and the NRO. These are all like spy agencies and stuff, and all these people are talking and they're on camera because they understand that this videotape is what's going to get them to be able to testify in front of Congress. And so they're all talking about a lot of things about aliens and UFOs, from people that were in charge of like a whole nuclear missile inventory. They were in charge, people that worked at like NORAD and all this stuff. And there's one guy's talking because he used to work for the Air Force, and they're called the Blue Berets, and they work for a nuclear like cleanup task force. And so they get these pages and they'd fly all over the earth. And if there was like a nuclear warhead that's leaking or something's going wrong, they were the only ones that had top secret clearance high enough to like fix and contain the area where our own nuclear weapons are. Because like no one's allowed to see them. But he was one of a few people that would get his page and they'd fly across wherever the continent or whatever, and they would land, and instead of there being like a nuclear warhead, there would be like a crashed UFO and alien bodies and stuff. And he was on this crash retrieval team, and he talks about all these stories that he used to get bodies and the actual hardware, and he was the one that was responsible for make sure it gets shipped down to like Wright-Patterson Air Force Base and to the Nevada test range where Area 51 is and stuff. And he talks of another time where he was in the Pentagon. This is the story you want to hear. Where he's at the Pentagon, and his boss comes into him, takes him into a certain area where they go down these stairs to an elevator. Go down the elevator he said probably like 6 or 7 stories underneath the Pentagon. They got out and they walked down this big long white tunnel, and they walk down that. They get in this little car, and the car goes, he said it went like really fast for I think 20 minutes underground. They get out and they walk through another white tunnel, and his boss looked at him and said something. He said something like, things aren't always like as they seem or something. It sounds like a movie, but this guy's like testifying on camera and pushes him through these 2 double doors. And at that time he's going, why is this guy fucking around? It's actually kind of probably, it's making me mad. That's what I think he was thinking. But he fell this time after he kind of pushed him, and he got up, and then he saw like this desk, and he saw 2 military officers, and right in the middle on this desk was this little short human being looking type of thing with bigger black eyes. And he said instantly every like little bit of emotion, fear, pain, like happiness, everything came out at the exact same time. And I don't know. And then he woke up in his boss's office, and his boss was trying to make him say that it never happened. But he did that, and has spent his whole career working with like these beings and stuff, and he's testifying on camera. Fuck, I should take you in another room and show you my little collection of UFO books and videos. The testimonies of all the people on these tapes here. And all the people on those tapes comprise there's 136 hours of interviews of people testifying about their jobs that dealt with aliens in the military. And my rad books on secret architecture of our nation's capital. The whole thing's set up. It's all creepy. It's weird. I have the JFK assassination book. The CIA and the mob killed one of the best presidents of all time. I have it in this book. It's crazy.
Can you believe it?
I know so.
How do you...
Evidence is there, dude.
Give me 2 pieces of evidence.
2 pieces of evidence?
Yeah.
That his brain was missing when he went to the hospital, and then the doctors weren't allowed to do any kind of like weird examinations because all the generals shut them down. You know why? Because there's other bullet holes in the guy's body because there's more than one shooter. It's crazy. They talk about everything. The architects of the underworld, it's all about the monuments and pyramids on Mars and the mathematical geometrical shapes and see, there's all these pyramids and stuff on Mars, and they make all these weird like angles and stuff, but those angles are the key to tetrahedral physics. And once you understand the science of that, that's the secret to space travel and time travel. And what's even more interesting, the big defense contractor that does all the UFO stuff, like for the military and the government, is in La Jolla. And out in front of their building, they have 2 8-foot-tall Egyptian statues. And one is holding a pyramid in his hand, and it says the past. And one's holding a pyramid in his hand, and it says the future. And they're big bronze statues in front of this company. And this company, I have on one of these tapes, a girl testifying how they put billions of dollars or millions of dollars into UFO-related programs, and they create them and they're fake. So when they get audited by the General Accounting Office of the United States government, it just looks like all the money's going into fucking more helicopters, but it's really going into like UFO-related programs. And there's Egyptians in front of the building, dude holding pyramids and saying the past and the future. I have people from the government talking about aliens. They're fucking real, you son of a bitch.
Mr. DeLonge sounds like nothing more than an interested kid in the previous clip. But as he grew up and was interviewed years later by Joe Rogan, we can see a profound change from what appeared to be nothing more than a kid with an interesting hobby to a self-proclaimed communication agent for the government.
Why? What is it about what your message was?
Because
what your idea was that made them want to tell you some top secret shit that they've tried to keep away from the American people. I mean, you take a guy who's like a big celebrity who's in a huge rock band like you, and you just say, hey, meet me in an airport. I'm going to tell you about a life form that we found during the Cold War because you're famous or because you know things?
No, because I have a service. So it's not. It sounds easy when you play it like that, but
service. A
service. Like, what can you do for them that they need help with?
And what could you do?
Communication. They don't have a way to make a movie, a book. They don't know how. Don't have a way to make documentaries. They don't have a way to go on a big show like this and communicate with young people. They don't do that, and nor should they. They look at. You got to look at what they're doing.
So they look to you for a spokesperson role?
I wouldn't say spokesperson role.
Communication role?
A communication role. It makes.
A logical person can't help but wonder if people like this are created by the entertainment industry to become mass influencers through the trust they've been gifted by their fans over the years, allowing the powers that be to use them to convince the public of the agenda we now know as disclosure.